Hey, American food is really oily for some reason, and now I have acne on my face again. Even though when I left Hong Kong, I thought they would go away, but I guess not. So, anyways, today I'm going to be doing is a culture detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing an album review on the very new Mitski album, Laurel Hell. So Mitski is a half Japanese, half American singer-songwriter, and this is her sixth album. A few years ago, she released Be the Cowboy, and one of the songs on that album, Nobody, has pretty much launched her into a popular state, garnering a lot of fans, making her new album one of the more anticipated singer-songwriter pop albums of the first quarter of 2022. Yes, the Nobody song, the Nobody, Nobody song. And even though I have never really checked out her music all that much, but with the release of this album, I listened to the tracks quite a bit, and yeah, here are my thoughts. First of all, I think this album works quite decently as a singer-songwriter pop album. Obviously, it is not without its flaws, and I think some of the tracks on the album are kind of in the middle, kind of average, maybe a little bit bland at times, but I think overall there are some really interesting lyrics as well as interesting songwriting. So the album opener, Valentine, Texas, is a drony, synthy opener that has a very strong ambient quality to it. And there are these amateurish vocals on this track as well as the rest of the album. And usually I dislike amateurish vocals. They sound like karaoke, they sound not very professional at all. But in this album's case, it actually worked quite well because I feel like with lyrics that are kind of moody and gloomy, and with the songs kind of slow, the amateurish vocals give the album a somber quality, which I actually kind of like. And then we have the second track, Working for the Knife, which is one of the biggest leading singles of the album. And this track is not for everyone. This is one of those tracks that's kind of polarizing. It's not for everyone. Some people will hate it for its odd instrumentation and odd songwriting, and some people will like it for the exact same reason. And I'm one of those people. I actually really like this track. I like how messy and disheveled the instrumentals are because they add onto the messiness that this track tries to portray. I like the slow burning electric guitars that are very moody and gloomy, almost industrial. I like the quiet vocals, which makes it even moodier. And I love it when the track experiments with strange chord progressions that meddle between 70s dream pop and nostalgic modern pop. And I also really like the lyrics. They are interesting, they are ominous, talking about working for the knife, living for the knife, and in the last verse, dying for the knife, which is very interesting. Way more interesting than I thought. I thought Mitski's just a blissful pop writer, but I guess not. I guess not. I was wrong. And I also quite like the music video. The ending to the music video for Working for the Knife is like a very strange and intense marriage between Black Swan, climax, and possession. And then we have the track Staying Soft, which is a dreamy, blissful pop track with, once again, a strange chord progression, a groovy bass, disco pianos, and sexy, alluring chords. This is a very great follow-up to the very moody previous track, and I also think the instrumentals are very fascinating. Then the album dives a little bit in a low with the track Everyone, which I think is a very forgettable slow burn. I love the poetic lyrics about naivety, but the instrumentals are just very bland. And then we have Heat Lighting with the muffled pianos, light beats. It's kind of washed out, kind of watered down. Why is my shirt always asymmetrical? I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of watered down and it's not really all that memorable. The only Heartbreaker is a new wave pop song with a blood pumping beat. It's very expressive, it's very fun, and the next track, Love Me More, is also really good. It is a quieter guitar-driven track with, once again, new wave synths in the chorus and runny pianos. I think it's really good. And then finally, we have the last four tracks. There's Nothing Left for You has an ambient first half, and then in the second half, it sort of slowly builds up to some bold, soaring guitars, and they do sound pretty good. And I also really like the lyrics about being done with someone, but overall, it's just kind of middle of the road, not really all that refreshing, not really all that groundbreaking, kind of trite maybe. And then the track Should Have Been Me is this reverby organic piano guitar jam. It's like I'm in a bar right now and Mitski and her band or whoever's collaborating with her on this project is sort of just playing in the bar. That's how I'm feeling when I'm listening to the track. And lyrically, it is about an ex looking for someone who looks similar, and she's sort of bitter towards that ex, which seems like pretty petty lyrics, but at the same time, it sort of portrays her character in the track or maybe in real life, and either way, it's pretty interesting. And then we have the track I Guess, which is a bit of an internal monologue for the track. There are some really, really hard hitting lyrics on the track about relationships, even though instrumentally it is, once again, a little bit bland, very quiet. And finally, the album ends off on That's Our Lamp, which is a rock oriented track that acts as a bit of an epilogue, leaving the house after a fight, running away, etc. The track has these 70s, 80s disco pop jam instrumentals with horns on top, and it serves as a strange, almost optimistically apprehensive ending with very interesting lyrics as well. And I honestly kind of like the ending. Again, it's not for everyone. The production and the vocals are very disheveled and messy, and for certain people, it may seem very amateurish and sloppy, but for some other people, like me, I find it to work in the favor of what this album is trying to portray. But overall, I do think that this album has some really bland moments, but overall, it is decent and it is promising, and I'm looking forward to whatever project she's coming out next. My favorite track on the album is Staying Soft, and my least favorite is Everyone. I'm giving Mitski's new album, Laurel Hell, a strong 6 to a light 7 out of 10. Or decent 7, actually. Light to decent 7. I don't know. 7 out of 10. So, have you listened to the latest Mitski album from 1 to 10? It's rated, like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.